Welcome back for a new top 10 list. This is 10 overrated, or rather overpriced, PS2 games. First up, some honorable mentions. First up, we have Clock Tower 3, which on average goes for $50 to $70 on average, depending on condition. We also have Resident Evil Outbreak, which can range anywhere from like $50 to $80. Also, honorable mentions, which a game I'm surprised now. A, I think, criminally underrated horror game, which is Siren. And on average, Siren is now going for $50 to $70, depending on condition. But this game, when I got it several years ago, I paid like $10 for it, so yeah, it's really gone up, which is weird. But in general, a lot of horror theme games I've noticed are some of the big ones going up. Also, of honorable mentions, on average now going for between anywhere from 50 to upwards of $100, believe it or not, depending on condition. The Fatal Frame series, which is, in my opinion, one of the best horror series of all time, because it's not exactly your traditional style survival horror series. But for me, the second one, Crimson Butterfly, will always be the best. But yeah, they're starting to go up now as well. And now, coming at number 10, believe it or not, is a fighting game. Number 10 is Bloody Roar 4, the final installment in the series, and arguably also the most expensive to collect now. Bloody Roar 3 is starting to get there. Like, Bloody Roar 3 is now going for $40 to $50, but it still pales in comparison to Bloody Roar 4. Bloody Roar 4, depending on condition, is running $70 to $120 for Blade Roar 4 now, which is kind of bonkers in my opinion. It's not a great game. I definitely don't dig the way they redid the mechanics of the beast drive and everything, morphing into your animal self. I just don't like the way they implemented the system in the game specifically. And Ryoho the dragon, eh. But still, it's a unique fighting game in my opinion of the series. I do like some of the stages and the music, but not a big fan of most of the newer characters. But yeah, it's kind of weird this is number 10. Next, coming in at number 9, is technically a combination of multiple games that, between them all, on average, are ranging anywhere from 70 to upwards of $150 on average. And that is the Silent Hill series, believe it or not. The Silent Hill series is now, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, $70 to $150 each game, depending on condition, keep in mind. Like, sadly, the copy of Origins I have does not have the original manual, or rather booklet, unfortunately. And this, I didn't have the original case, so special custom case. Now the 3 and 4 are the only ones I have that are 100% complete. But yeah, the games on average are ranging. Next, coming in at number 8, which is going for a ridiculous amount now. On average, it's ranging anywhere from $180 to upwards of $300, and we're only at number 8. And that is Xenosaga Episode 3, which I personally have Xenosaga Episode 1 and Episode 2. I do not have Episode 3, unfortunately, and given the price range it's going for now, I may never have Xenosaga Episode 3 unless it ever drops at least somewhat in price. Coming in at number 7 is another Silent Hill game. Silent Hill game, unfortunately, is the only PS2 game I do not have, and that's a game that I actually have on the Wii. Because you can get the Wii version of the game like $30 or $40. The PS2 version, however, is first, this is Silent Hill Shattered Memories. On average, going for anywhere from about $180 to $250. So yeah, it's pretty pricey. And it's kind of crazy. I would say arguably this is the most expensive of the Silent Hill series to collect for, hands down. Next, we come to number 6, and this is the highest one I have. I only recently got my hands on it. Sadly, I got only the disc, so I had to get a reproduction book, or rather case. Coming at number 6 is called Echo Knight Beyond, which is like a space exploration type of game. And if you're at all curious about the game, or curious about like an in-depth review at all on this game, I recommend checking out the review from Nitro Rad on this game, and many of the other horror games on this list he's reviewed already. On average, Echo Knight Beyond, depending on condition, can range anywhere from $200 to $300. So definitely Echo Knight Beyond is definitely a very pricey game, though compared to a few more horror games on this list, not so much. Next, coming at number 5, is a very interesting, pretty good difficulty-wise survival horror game, and that's a game called Obscure. Now, Obscure is also available on the original Xbox, and you can get it for cheaper. I would say you can get on Xbox for $70 to $100. That may not sound cheap, but compared to this version of the game, it is. The PS2 version of Obscure is going to set you back anywhere from $200 to $350. So yeah, Obscure is very overpriced, needless to say, and kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Coming at number 4 is, funny enough, part 4 in its series. That is Dot Hack, part 4, which is a total of 4 different games in the series. Now, depending on the ones, like part 1 through part 3, you can get for anywhere from probably $30 to upwards of like $80. However, Dot Hack Part 4, you're looking at between $250 to like $320. So yeah, it is definitely a very pricey game, needless to say. And it's funny enough, the only regular RPG other than Xenosaga, weirdly enough. Everything else predominantly is pretty much horror games on the list. Coming at number 3 is a game made by Capcom. It's a very unique game. It's a game I would love to play, but I'm not paying what this game's going for. And it's never been made available digitally either, which absolutely sucks. In fact, the next 3 games that I'm going to be mentioning, 3 most expensive at least that I've seen, none of them are available for digital. 3 is called Haunting Grounds. It's a very unique game. Originally, it was going to be considered somewhat of a branch-off game to like the Clock Tower series, but through some interesting means and things, it would end up not becoming. And once again, Nitro Rad reviewed this game. But Haunting Grounds is going to set you back anywhere from $300 to $500. As I said, it's an insanely overpriced. Coming in at number 2 is a very unique game that caused a lot of controversy, which is why it only sold about 20,000 copies in North America. which is why it's currently the second most expensive game. For a while, it was number one. That is the horror game called Roll of Rose. It's become quite infamous among survival horror fan community. Roll of Rose on average is going to set you back anywhere from $400 starting to $600. As I said, very overpriced. Now for number one is a interesting Japanese style game. You could tell took influences from games, other survival horror games throughout the years, though it's more based on like Japanese myths and legends. I don't want to incorrectly pronounce this, so it's spelled Kuon. On average, this game goes for anywhere from $700 to $900. And I kid you not. Look it up on eBay. Heck, it may be going for over 900 now if you're looking mid condition. Like I said, unfortunately, a lot of these great survival horror games did not get digital releases on PS3 or anything on the network, which sucks. Um, Shatter Memories didn't. In fact, almost all of these games never got a digital release, which is probably why they've become so expensive, is because there's no digital. Funny enough, games like Siren and others actually are available digitally. It's some of the only survival horror games I've seen outside of maybe at one time or another some of the Silent Hill games. But with that said, that is 10 overpriced PlayStation 2 games. About a month from now, I will do another one on overpriced games. Next time, we'll be looking at the Sega Dreamcast. So stay tuned for that. In the future, sometime I'll get back to PS1 doing more overpriced lists. With that said, I'll see y'all again soon enough. Stay safe. And excuse the noise in the background, that's my heater. But with that said, see you again soon enough. Stay safe.